Hi, hello, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily. I hope you're doing well. Today I am really excited to be making another designer dupe. Crochet is still in, guys. Textured things in general, like lots of texture, is very in for the fall. And I was just browsing the web and I found this Bottega Veneta bag, and it is $4,500. Yeah, $4,500. $4,500. The first thing that came to my mind was I can definitely make that. So today, that is what we're doing. Stay tuned, and I don't really have a plan yet, but I have some materials, so let's check out the materials. Materials. All right, so I was looking at the purse in great detail, and it looked to me like a corded, or like a, I don't know what the word is, like a stuffed yarn. Like, it's obviously a chunky yarn, but it looked like a tubular yarn. I hope that makes sense. So I found on Hobby, I had to order it. Hobby is great. This is unfortunately not sponsored, but I'm here, Hobby. Anyway, I really like Hobby. I've ordered from them a couple of times. My biggest tip is just to double and triple check how big the skeins are. If you saw my making the super fluffy dress around Easter time, that's a mistake that I have made before, like 4 times. This is called the Bungee Mini. I don't know what's mini about it. It's actually pretty big. I bought 3 skeins of this bungee from Hobby in the color 09. I was kind of expecting it to say something else. It's green. The color green. So I got 3 of them because the purse is bobbled, and if you've done bobble stitches before, you know they take a lot of yarn, and I really didn't want to risk running out. But overall, it's a pretty small purse, so I think we'll be okay. And then I went to Michael's and I was in the jewelry section. I got this bead landing chain. It's only 24 inches, so it's not going to be the longest strap of all time, but I'm hoping it will do. I can always go get a second one, although I really don't want to. And then I looked high and low for some clasps. I did not want to use like a button, and they only had black and silver. And I have a gold chain and I wasn't willing to sacrifice that. So I might look online and order a clasp and install it later, but you're not gonna see that. It's not gonna happen in this video. Don't get your hopes up. But that's the only thing that will be missing, and eventually I will add it. So let's hit the drawing board. I'm gonna grab my iPad and kind of show you how I think we're gonna plan this out, okay? All right, enough talking, to the iPad. The purse is going to be made up of 3 simple panels. The first panel is going to be both the back and wrap over to be the flap in the front. It's going to be 9 bobbles high and 7 across. And then for the middle piece, it's just going to be a single crochet strip that's going to cover both sides and the bottom of the bag. And then finally the front panel, which is going to be 4 bobbles high and 7 across. So all of those pieces together and we should have a purse. All right, so jumping right into it, I am showing you a 9mm hook, but I am a liar. I used a 12mm hook after 1 row. Just look at whatever yarn you're using and use the recommended hook. To start out, all you need to do is chain an even number. When working with bobbles, you always have to work in even numbers. I wanted 7 bobbles, so I have to double that for my chain. So I chained 14 stitches. Then all you have to do is chain 1, turn, and single crochet all the way down your chain. If you're super new, I have linked some of my favorite beginner videos in the description below, including the single crochet, and it's just a quick 2-minute video. Okay, so this is my first row of single crochets, and now we're gonna start a bobble row. So chain 2 and turn your work. Then into that first stitch, we're gonna place a bobble by yarning over, pulling up a loop, pull through 2 loops, and you should have 2 loops left. Yarn over again, pull up another loop, pull through 2 loops. You should now have 3 loops on your hook, and then yarn over and pull through all 3. And that's how I bobbled for the whole project. So then we want to divide our bobbles with a single crochet. So into the second stitch, I'm just doing a single crochet, and then bobble again into the third stitch. If you crochet frequently, you might usually bobble with 5 pull-ups, but because my yarn was so thick, I only did 2, and I really liked the way it looked. So then I'm just repeating the pattern all the way down. Single crochet, bobble, single, bobble until the end of the row, and this is what my 7 bobbles look like. The next row is going to be a single crochet row, so each row has to be divided by single crochets and into every single stitch, even on top of the bobbles, so that when you're done, you should be back to 14 single crochets all the way across. Okay, so I finished what could be the front panel. I'm trying to decide. I could either keep going to the 10 rows or just stop here. But definitely, guys, 12 millimeters is so much better. It just looks better too. And also, I am really loving how this is coming out. I'm enjoying it, but if you want it to be super accurate, I do think that maybe the other bag is made out of tape yarn. Like these, I've never used a tape yarn, and I've never used this either, so that's why it was kind of hard for me to eyeball. I think this is giving the look, like it's giving designer dupe, but if you want it to be exact, it might be a tape yarn. So just something to keep in mind, and if you know, let me know in the comments down below, help out the other girlies who are gonna make this purse. I could either nod off here or keep going. I haven't decided yet, but guys, that's literally it for the front and back panel. So easy, and I worked this up in like 15 minutes. And then, oh, I did order a clasp. Again, you are not gonna see it in this video, but I ordered this clasp from Etsy, so I hope it comes in and is perfect. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna do all 10 rows. This is 4. So this is what the front panel would look like. It's cute, it's cute, it's cute. Okay, so I have finished 2 of the panels. This is the back one, so this is 9 rows of bobble, and this is going to fold over the front one. So if we're being real, this looks great. This looks really cute. It feels heavy, it feels nice, and if you wanted to be lazy, you could probably just, okay, that was rude, no hate. If you wanted to take a shortcut, you could probably just seam up the sides and the bottom and add the chain and you would be good to go. But I am gonna go all out, and so I'm gonna make a long crochet strappy looking rectangle that I'm gonna then sew between and on the bottom to connect it all. I don't know how much sense that makes, but I hope it makes a little sense. So now I'm literally just gonna do a chain of 3 single crochets back and forth until it's long enough to go all the way down the sides, down the bottom, and up the other side. So yeah, okay, I guess I should start. I guess I will start that. This middle panel is really simple. I just did 3 single crochets back and forth until it was long enough to wrap around the purse. So to do that math, I think this makes sense. I hope it makes sense. I counted the amount of rows total on the front panel. So it was 10 rows, including the single crochet rows and the bobble rows of the front panel, and then multiply that by 2 because there's 2 sides to the panel, and then the amount of stitches across the bottom, which was 14. So I did 34 rows of single crochet, just back and forth, and if you did your own number for a different size purse, then I hope that little math equation helps you figure out how long to make it. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Back panel done. To recap, I did 9 rows of bobbles and 1 row of single crochet at each end. I did 4 rows of bobbles and 1 row of single crochet on each end for the front panel. I did 34 rows. Yes, I did 34 rows long of this bad boy so that it fits down the side, across the bottom, and up the other side. The challenge now is figuring out how I'm gonna sew it all together because I don't have a needle, I don't think, that is wide enough for this bungee. I'm gonna look, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do yet, but we will figure that out because we are so close to getting this done. This was perhaps the fastest thing I've ever made that came out this cute so far, so knock on wood, but it's going well. I did it like this. I hope I'm in frame. Okay, hey guys, day 2, new fit, new me. Yesterday I was weaving in the ends and fully prepared to finish this purse, but then I just, got extremely distracted. So today the panels are good to go, all ends are weaved in, and we're just gonna assemble. So I'm gonna put you guys in the overhead so you can just see how I'm weaving. I'm not using a needle, I don't have one that fits this yarn. So it's probably gonna be a little bit tedious, but we're gonna get it done. So let's just keep going, keep chugging through. It's getting cute, it's almost there. The seaming of it all together was definitely the hardest part so far. The mental gymnastics was just not adding up for me, but I figured it out. It's looking as even as I think it will ever look, but it's looking pretty good. The chain, way too short, way too short. I vastly underestimated how short 24 inches is. So I'm gonna have to go back to Michael's, buy probably 2 more chains, and then connect them all together before I show you guys the final look. And then I was just looking at the reference photo again, and I noticed that there is like an outward single crochet stitching. So I'm just gonna go into like every single loop around the entire bag and add a single crochet border. And then that is it, guys. So I'll show you guys the final look. For me, it'll be after a few more laborious tasks, but for you, it'll be literally right now, milliseconds. So I hope you guys like it.